14 minutes past 8 this cold Thursday morning, rainy as well. I don't know how heavy it is around your area, but not very heavy here. But all the same, wet morning it is. My name is Ifeyemi Andrew. Today's conversation will be looking into incidents around the outer axis of the state, recent cases of insecurity, killings, loss of lives. Some have described it as a court clash. The police gave insight into it, gang-related killings, which has characterized that area for a while. And in most recent times, it felt as though we had come out of that dark era and we were going to see some positive news come out of the outer axis of Rivers State. Unfortunately, in recent times, that has not been the case, because if you had followed the news, you would see over 7 lives lost already, and the reports of the violence continues, which drops behind it sad feeling for the families of those that are affected. Well, this morning I will be speaking with a traditional ruler on the show. Will be giving us insight into what the situation is, the role that the traditional institution can play in trying to tackle this menace that we have within that area. Prior to this time, we all are aware of the passing on, the horrific, I would like to describe it as the horrific death of Esquin Bashim. Afterwards, the man, Gift David, also known as Tubaba, was declared wanted, was said to be behind that killing. Eventually, he was apprehended by the police and was annihilated as well. But afterwards, months after that, here we are, back to what we used to get from that area. Quickly, let's make welcome His Royal Majesty Dr. Felix Otuwarikpo, Eze Igbu Upata. Sir, you're welcome. Thank you for joining us this morning.
So, good morning, River State.
All right, good morning, sir. I'm sure you can hear us loud and clear.
Very clear here.
All right. Thank you very much for making out time to join us. Now, just before we go into the most recent cases of insecurity that we are hearing around the outer axis of the state, I'd like to cast our minds back to an interview we had with now late Tubaba. At the time was declared wanted and was running from the law. Eventually the law caught up with him, but he said a few things in one of those interviews I had with him here on the show. And I'll play that excerpt so we listen to it and then we come back and get to my guest. This is Tubaba speaking here.
Even if I know all of them, they are renamed. But if when I go more details, all of them, they get named. I only know their kind name. I don't know their names. But if you just do small investigation by land and know their names and finish, then get names.
All right. If you can remember, in the course of the conversation, we would appreciate if you can mention the real names of some of these people, so that those in the communities can identify and say, yes, we know this person or that person, because anybody can go by, as you call it, a guy name. So if we can't get real names, that would be perfect. But there's still plenty to ask you. You said, can you tell us, now you are wanted, the police are looking for you, the state government has put a bounty on your head. If you are caught or apprehended or you surrender on your own to the police, do you think that the killings and the issues we're having in Ekpeye land now will stop?
No, it's not going to stop now. Because now those opposition are there on me. Even now before I don't submit the gun finish. Now they always tell you.
So these oppositions, who are they? They are the ones. So you are saying that the ones perpetrating. Why are they committing the crimes? What is the benefit of it? How is it? Some people have said politicians use some of these gunmen and you guys for their act. Some people say the traditional leaders in the community for traditional stool tussle are also involved. What exactly? Which of this is true?
Of the truth about the politician something. Me, I don't get any business with any politician. Only what I know is when you reach election time, all of them they come where they confuse you.
All right, there's the late Tubaba speaking. We can't get to the whole length of it, but then one important thing that I wanted us to note out of that conversation was when I asked him the question, if you are apprehended now, if the police apprehend you, or if you surrender willingly to the police, will the killings and the insecurity and all that we're seeing from the Ekpeye nation, would it come to an end? And his answer was no, it was still not going to come to an end. It will not stop. That was what he said. And if you remember vividly, well, the man himself has been apprehended and annihilated by the police. And here we are, months later, back to the situation that we hoped we should have come out of in the outer axis. Your Majesty, I'm sure you are still with us. What is behind this resurgence? I just played an excerpt from the late Tubaba where he said, even if he dies or they kill him or they arrest him or whatever the police does, that what is happening in that area will continue. It's not going to stop. What exactly is responsible for this?
Thank you, Andrew. And as a matter of fact, we seem to be very ignorant of the root causes of these problems. If you are taking a patient to the hospital, the first step to treating that patient is to diagnose the patient to get the actual illness, the source of the illness. Without getting to the source of the illness, it will be difficult to administer any treatment and it will work. I've consistently, most times through your station, and professions, and nobody listening. Rather, the stakeholders listening, they are busy blaming traditional rulers. People should listen. Let us go to the root of this problem and uproot it.
What is the root?
Without going to the root of this problem, nothing will be done, and it will succeed.
What is the root of the problem?
Let me tell you something here. A lot of scholars, that have come to different registrations are looking at poverty, they are looking at unemployment. Those are not the problems of insecurity in Ekpeye land today. They may be contributory factors, but they are not the problem. As a matter of fact, Ekpeye land is dumping ground for all sorts of cultists. It's a dumping ground. The security agencies are aware. I have written several security reports to the security agencies. They are aware. Why would Ekpeye become a dumping ground for cultists? Those who are dumping these boys in Ekpeye land, the security agencies know them. They know them. So what is so difficult for the security agencies and the government to go deep into this matter and stop trading blames? This person is responsible. Called operating in Ekpeye land. They are not even Ekpeye people. They are not Ekpeye youths. So let us face the facts.
So why are they coming to kill sons of Ekpeye land? Because the recent incidents suggested that, if you're not from there, you go to the house of a person and look for a particular person and kill them. If you don't have any business with them, that would not be the case. So is it possible that we also have youths of Ekpeye who are involved in these gangster activities?
Of course, there are quite a number of youths that are involved. There are quite a number of them.
And what is propelling it? What could be behind what's the attraction for it? Why are young people in Ekpeye land, gravitating towards this, knowing that it could cost them their life, even the development of their community?
You see, as a matter of fact, in 2019, we carried out, the Ekpeye Traditional Council carried out an amnesty program, a traditional amnesty program.
All right, Your Majesty, please Your Majesty, please just hold on. We have a very short commercial, very short break, and then we continue from here. Please stay on the line for us.
Nigeria Info. Right back after this.
Mom's love is pure.
And continues here on the show. My name is Ifeemi Andrew. I am speaking with His Royal Majesty, Dr. Felix Otuwarikpo. And, we are looking at the recent cases of insecurity in the Ekpeye nation, the outer axis of Rivers State. It's something that many thought we have come out of and should not go back to again. At the start of the conversation, played you an excerpt from a conversation I had with the then wanted Gift David, also known as Tubaba, before he was later apprehended by the police and annihilated. He had said that, well, anything happening to him, arrest or losing his lives or being killed in the process or whatever happens to him at the time he was declared wanted, he had said it will not stop what is going on in Ekpeye. And he was trying to cite several reasons why. We're going to get that up for you on social media, so you look into it. But then my guest was giving us insight into what could be the origin of all of these problems, and not just looking at the surface wound of it, but going down to the root cause of it. We'll quickly go back to my guest. You can watch on Facebook at Nigeria Info 92.3 PH. So we're streaming live where you can watch and drop your questions and contributions. Something that you should note, my guest said something that also caught my attention. People tend to blame traditional rulers more, saying they are responsible and they should do more, whereas that doesn't answer the root cause of the problem. Your Majesty, sir, I'm sure you're still on the line.
Yeah, I'm with you.
All right, let's allow you to continue. So I'll ask the question what the root cause is before the commercial, and you were trying to give us insight into that.
If we are looking at the origin of cultism in Ekpeye land, especially the violent nature it has taken, we cannot divorce the fact that the political struggles necessitated cultism in Ekpeye land. In 2015, for example, 2014, 2015, and up to 2016 and early 2017, Ekpeye was a battlefield. It was a battlefield because the political actors recruited so many of these Ekpeye youths into their folds. And after the election, 2015 election, most of the weapons given to these boys were not retrieved. And when you have weapons in the hands of civilians who are not authorized to hold weapons, the tendency is that they will deploy that weapon against their opponents, against perceived opponents. Any little quarrel, because they are not disciplined to hold such weapons, little quarrel, they will pull the trigger. And so what is happening now is traced to 2015, 2014, 2015. And rather than addressing the issue, we are trading blames. This person is responsible, that person is not responsible, and all that. Let us go to the basics. Like I said earlier, Ekpeye has become a dumping ground for cultists.
Who is dumping cultists in Ekpeye land?
Reports. We have had interactions. I'm telling you today that if security agencies are ready to work with us, all these cultists will be cleared from Ekpeye land within 48 hours. I'm giving you this assurance.
All right, let's get some one or two things clear. You made mention of dumping cultists in Ekpeye land. Who is doing the dumping? And secondly, what are the basics that we should get back to address this problem?
The security agencies are aware of the persons dumping these cultists in Ekpeye land. They are aware. It's not a hidden thing. If you go to the streets, the communities in Ekpeye, they will tell you exactly persons who are responsible. We have security reports. We have made oral reports, and nothing is being done.
These individuals who do this, are they no names? Are they faceless? Don't they have names?
No. We have written reports. I can avail my reports to you. I can give you my reports. I'm on air. I cannot come on air to be calling. I can give you my reports.
Okay.
Duly acknowledged by security agencies. We have written several reports. Our job ends at reporting incidences to the government and the relevant agencies. If you are telling a traditional ruler to stop cultism in his domain, do I have police under my control? Do I have the military under my control? What instruments will I use as a traditional ruler to stop cultism in my domain? It goes beyond advisory. Are they saying that we are not advising these youths? We are doing that. But who are the persons that destroy the values of our societies? Who are those destroying the values of the societies? Who are the people making it impossible for our youth to listen to us as their royal fathers? Are the youth listening to us? Who destroy the bond between the father and the children? Who are the people? At least for once, Nigerians should face the facts. We owe it a duty to stop this cultism from escalating. If they feel that they can stay outside the communities and influence these boys to destabilize communities, they have their brothers and sisters, their relations in communities. Their children will one day come to these communities. They should help us to eradicate this thing once and for all.
Who are those, by them, who are you referring to who influence these boys? Which set of individuals? Are you referring to politicians influencing the boys, or businessmen?
They know themselves, and I have notified the security agencies through my security reports. I notified them. I have notified the security agencies to look at our reports and act. It is not a secret. Andrew, I can make my security reports available to you.
Please, we would appreciate if you do that for us.
Yes. We have written several reports. We have complained. We have done everything. You are aware that I was attacked on 2 occasions. If not for the sake of God, I wouldn't be alive talking today. I wrote a security report to one of the security agencies over pipeline vandalism. 2 days later, the same letter was pasted at the gate of my palace. The letter I sent to a security agency in this state, 2 days later, a photocopy of that letter was pasted at my gate, at the gate of the Upata Palace.
Which of the agencies?
Andrew, I will discuss this thing with you privately.
All right.
The letter was pasted, the photocopy of that letter was pasted. What message were they sending to me? We were threatened. A lot of things have happened. We have complained. Anything, you come after traditional rulers. What have traditional rulers done? What have they done? Is it a crime to be a traditional ruler in this state?
But they say some of them are involved, use these boys for tussles for traditional stools. Some of the traditional rulers were also gang members before they eventually became traditional rulers. But then
traditional ruler have their domain.
But then
nobody is fighting any war.
Your Majesty, would you agree that some of the traditional rulers were also, perhaps in their time, members of one gang or one cult group or the other, and some of them have what they describe? If we were opportune to have played my conversation with the late Tubaba, he hinted to some of these things, that then when they come to settle these matters, because they have sympathy for one group that they may have belonged to before, or their children belong to, they do not try to be fair and just in how they handle these matters, and then it also escalates from there. Then that's also a contributing factor. Would you say that is not correct at all?
As a matter of fact, the security agencies are supposed to profile every traditional ruler. The desk officers in those local governments are supposed to be having a file on the activities of every traditional ruler. I cannot defend any other traditional ruler. I can only talk for myself. I cannot and I will not have anything to do with any cult group. My upbringing, my professional training, my exposure and everything does not support such practice. And if there are such persons who have sympathy for any cult group, the government should know, and such a person should be answerable. Nobody is bigger than the law. And so the agencies and government should stop pretending. In the past, I'm aware that the traditional institution was so caricatured. But we have a governor today that has a lot of respect for the traditional institution, that is upholding the dignity of the institution. We should assist him. We should assist him. What is happening in communities today is denting the image of the government. And so everyone who is a stakeholder should assist the governor to make sure there is sanity at the community level. We are talking of communities today. It is members of the community that will migrate to the city tomorrow and cause confusion. Boko Haram started in the bush before it got to Maiduguri and other city centers. We should have to address this matter today.
All right.
The governor cannot be preaching peace, preaching decency, and other stakeholders are doing something different. Let us work together. Let us support the governor to maintain peace in our communities.
Okay. Let's go to the phone lines quickly and hear what some of the listeners have to say. Several messages we also have on Facebook. Hopefully, I would play back parts of what was said by the late Stu Baba in that interview, just for the purposes of clarity for our listener. 0817-923-0007 is a number to call. 0817-923-0007. You can also call 0817-923-0003. The man had said that whether he dies or not, that does not change what is happening. For him, what is happening in Ekpeye is deeper than just him being declared wanted at the time or the law coming after him at the time. Fast forward months later, we are still seeing that, well, these issues are still ongoing. There are some people that say after the death of SP Agbashim and after the police, successfully apprehended and annihilated the late Tubaba, there was some sort of retreat with regards to the presence of police. I wouldn't say retreat, might be the wrong word, but there was a reduction in the amount of security presence in that area, and they are saying that could also be contributing to what we're seeing now. Is that true? Do you agree with that? Do you share that opinion, Your Majesty?
Well, if there is visibility, policing, and strong security presence, it deters criminals from operating. As a matter of fact, there is a low security presence. The fact that at Ahoada town, you have security.
I was about to say that we have different security agencies there.
In other parts of Ekpe. Ahoada town is just about 2% of the Ekpe population, and so what happens to the 98%? So the most of these criminal activities are not committed in the city where in Ahoada town where you have the presence of security agencies, and so that is why we appeal regularly for security presence in the community. Unfortunately, the security cannot even act. They cannot act because there are no vehicles to move into these communities. And in our climb here, we seem to believe that it's the responsibility of government to provide everything the security needs. That is not so. Multinational companies everywhere here, security agencies. What is wrong with companies donating Hilux vehicles, donating security agencies?
Are you saying
with individuals?
Have you cited
our
some
sons and daughters?
Your Majesty,
vehicles.
Okay, Your Majesty, have you cited quickly, just in a few words, have you cited any of the new vehicles donated to the police by the government in Ahoada Axis anytime in Ekpeye, in Upata Kingdom?
Yes.
All right. So
the DPO, the DPO Ahoada division and the area commander have been doing a whole lot of job, because of the level discussions we've had, with the Ekpeye Traditional Council. They are going patrolling, but it's not enough. How many of these vehicles are given to the division and the area command? About 2. It can't go anywhere. They are insisting that companies operating in our area should make available vehicles. Individuals, our sons and daughters, should donate vehicles. We can't wait for the governor to do everything. We owe it a responsibility to ensure that our area is safe. Policing, security, and everything is collective. It's not government responsibility alone. The companies, if there's serious crisis in our area, those companies will not operate. There's no way they can operate. As they should contribute to policing in our area. But they are doing nothing.
All right, let's take a few calls. Susie in Erema, we'll start with you. Good morning, Susie.
Good morning, Andrew. Let me also greet Upata. Let me say that it's actually unfortunate that we have our brothers, our young ones, our children that go into destruction of lives and property. We are blessed with a landscape and water. If you look at it coming from Elele, you get to the pipeline, the vast land there to Iwaba to Abua. If you come into Ahoada meantime, you see from that place, from there to Abua to other side, Aklima side. And if you're going to Rema, along the Hubogo Odimeni, there are vast land. This thing I'm talking about will tell you that what the king is talking about now, that there are social factors, but that there are persons that have this responsibility of making this thing happen in our area, which is rather unfortunate. What I'm trying to say in essence is that we should be able to link this into the extent that everybody in our area must make sure that this thing does not exist. We must learn a lesson from Obaka people. Obaka people today do not have police. But I want to say that you can only see skirmishes of course groups and all of that. But you cannot see Obaka people now killing themselves. We must learn from them. I think the against people like this and Onaga borrowed a leave from this angle and brought an internal security. But we do not even need to kill our brother or to live in peace. We have other things that can work for us, apart from government providing for everybody. There are lands, there are water, where our young ones can fish, where we can do farming. But today, because of excess of quantity, our people are no longer farming. Some of us are living in another land, paying our friends because of unnecessary cultism that's happening in our place. Those that have ideas to all these causes don't have money. But some people that have money to all this cultism, and the people funding it, just like the king has said, those that have ideas don't have the money to fund. You can imagine the king that is talking now cannot give 20 million in a gathering of people because he has the idea. But for those that have the idea, that have the money, they cannot do anything.
Susie, thank you very much. Let's go to David in Yenegua. Good morning, David. All right, we go to Robin. Robin is in the chair. We lost the call from David. Robin, good morning to you.
Good morning, Femi Andrew.
Yes, go on.
Permit me to greet the majesty in my native tongue. Yes, Upata. Yes, Upata. Oyukuma, sir. Chishere Kashi. Femi Andrew, I totally agree with all the submission made by His Imperial Majesty. Femi Andrew, and those who are listening to the sound of my voice, it's not easy to speak openly the truth of a fact because of the fear of death. But if you know, some of us are talking based on the platform your station and other stations provided for us. I'm a conscious man. I know that I will die. But if I have to be killed because I'm saying the truth, the killer will one day die. How can we have a government that puts the blame or the burden on traditional ruler to make peace in his domain? How? What is the salary of the king? Does he control those agencies? All the wards in Empire have a councillor. All the local government have a local government chairman. Why do we submit our sovereignty to government? They know the fact. DSS is in Ahoada. They know the story. How can individuals begin to carry guns in community? And you think I will be safe to go there and sit in my home and drink for me? And a lot of responsible people in the prayer don't go home anymore. You had him, he has been attacked twice. By who? Let me leave it there.
All right.
But I think they should stop the bloodletting in the prayer lands.
Thank you, Isaiah in Buguma. Good morning.
Andrew, sorry, my brother. Let me greet the guests. Good morning. You see, Andrew, I want you to know that today we have some edges that are flashpoints for cultism activities where these politicians are sponsoring them. If you look at when the secretariats were attacked, it was just some few local governments, about 3 to 5 of them. Because other places, other edges, there are people civilians who have made up their mind that such things cannot happen. That is why you can see within the 3 edges in my area, Degema, the Amama soldiers and their leader is present alone. You can't near. So there are places where you see that there are security lapses. And if you check back, look at from 2015 to today, you can see that we have this issue, like in the area where this issue is happening, Ahoada West, Ahoada East. If you count from 2014 to date, you can know that there are so many gun-running men who have been killed, terrorizing those areas. And because there is nobody standing to wage war to stop them for all these problems, that is why I see that it is. Do you think that an ordinary politician, ordinary cultist can buy AK-47 of about 4-5 million? It is people who have the money that is buying for them. And who are these people? The politicians. Because they have the free will to be doing all these things within that houses. That is why you see.
All right, Isaiah. Thank you very much. Quickly, Your Majesty, let's get your parting words as we wrap up in under a minute, if you can.
Thank you so much. As a matter of fact, for over 6 years, the Ekpe Traditional Council canvassed for the constitution of an internal security system, OSPAC. And for 6 years, it was resisted. Most local governments are safe today because of the presence of internal security to complement what the conventional security are doing. But unfortunately, for 6 years, it was resisted. We have an interim management committee, Honorable Happy Bennett, who took it upon himself to set up the OSPAC. But he could not stay long enough to implement it.
Have that conversation been held with the current chairman?
I will appeal to the incoming chairman to make it a possibility that the OSPAC should stand in Ekpe land.
Okay. Thank you very much, Your Majesty, for joining us on the show. We'll definitely keep in touch to follow up on developments.
Thank you.
Have a great day. Well, you heard it there. Great conversation. Some more messages on Facebook. Godwin Agwanwo says, good morning to you and His Majesty. This matter, it will be very appropriate if traditional rulers work with the police. Well, you heard my guest. There's several security reports have been sent to several security agencies without any proper response. The accusations and counter accusations can never help the insecurity presently benefiting Ekpe land. Traditional rulers are armless. As such, security agencies should liaise with them to fight this menace. Thank God that some traditional rulers in that area are receiving monthly salaries from the government, and my question to them is, what are they doing with those monies? My name is Ifeemi Andrew. We wrap it up here. Good morning.
Nigeria Info. We'll be right back.
You can buy your house.